What's up, guys? This is Bulba Games, and this is a beginning of a new series of videos we're going to be doing from here on out, called Bulba News, or Bulba News, whatever the case would be. So yeah, we're going to be starting off with just a few top news stories of throughout the week. That's going to be what we're going to be covering. It's going to be mostly unbiased, but I'm going to give my opinion on each one. But I mean, I'm going to post a link in the description as to where I pulled my sources from and everything like that, so you guys can actually take a look at it for yourself. Starting off, we're going to go ahead and begin off with one of the news stories. One of these news stories that actually interests me right now is first two women to graduate Ranger Academy. Congratulations to them. They graduated and passed. It was it's pretty amazing to see how women in our military forces are starting to get into those roles. I mean, of course, as of right now, they're not able to serve in a combat environment as of right now, but at least they're, when the time comes for that, they'll be able to prove it. A lot of people have been pushing for this, to allow these women into the armed services and to let them serve in the combat field as it is, because they're already in the armed services. It's just a matter of letting them. And one of the things that's been being stated on this, and one of the arguments with it, is how Israel and their women are allowed to serve in their country's war zones. And that's actually true to an extent, because I kind of looked that up myself and was just like, well, maybe I'll take a look at that. And apparently, the truth in that is that Israel's female combat soldiers are actually just confined to 2 light battalions, which are like minor battalions, and they're called the Karkel, I guess that is how that's pronounced, and the Lions of Jordan, they're both assigned to guard the borders between Egypt and Jordan, which are the only 2 Arab countries that actually have peace treaties with Israel at the current time. So basically what that means is, basically they're in an area right now where there's basically no combat going on, but they're in a combat field. They're in an area with no combat. There's a lot more to the restrictions that Israeli women actually have to follow whenever they're in those kind of fields, but at the same time, it's pretty interesting to see that yes, women are actually starting to take more of a role in the combat area, and as a person who previously served in the Marine Corps, I actually like to see that. That's a bravo to these women. If they're actually able to pass and do everything that the men can do, I see no problem with them picking up an armed gun and actually going to war with us. I mean, there's nothing more to it. It's great. It's great. I love to see it. But also the next news story that we have to cover is apparently a crying baby was found in a locked hotel safe. So yeah, apparently Canadian police are on the lookout now for a family from Brooklyn, New York, after their baby was found locked in a safe in a Niagara Falls hotel Tuesday morning. A family called staff to a room that I guess it was I'm not going to give the name of the hotel, but to free the infant, and it was alert and crying. Maintenance worker freed the baby after 20 minutes, but the parents, who were quite distraught, an officer says, checked out of the hotel with the child before police were called. Huh. So it seems like the baby crawled in there, and the family how do you let your baby crawl into a safe? I really just don't, honestly. I can't understand how you could possibly. But apparently the family let their baby crawl into the safe and closed it behind. I guess the baby closed it behind himself or herself, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's just kind of weird for me. But that's a weird news story. Apparently a baby was found locked in a safe, and it wasn't really found that way. The parents kind of reported it the moment it happened. So, but the police are now looking for them to question them as to how that happened. But yeah, so another news story. This one kind of actually does hit home a little bit for me because as of currently right now, I'm actually a fire brigade member, and so with that being said, you know, I understand what it means to actually, you know, fight a fire. I'm actually, you know, I have yet to actually do an actual go into an actual industrial fire myself, but you know, it's only a matter of time now at this point. But I mean, I'm fully fire brigade trained, and I've done my live burn and everything like that, so I know, like, but I know from watching videos and whatnot just how dangerous that kind of life can be, and just how, like, I know at any moment something could pop off at the plant that I work at, and I'm gonna have to go fight the fire. Which, I mean, you know, it's something that's, it's part of my job, though. You know, it's part of my job description, and you know, but apparently in Washington we had 3 firefighters who died in a crash. It wasn't the crash that killed them; it was the flames that caught up. But apparently, if you don't know what's going on in Washington in the West right now, they are having a major drought, which is causing a lot of brush fires and a lot of wildfires. They're constantly having to be fought, and these firefighters were on their way to go scout the area ahead, and they crashed, and the flames just kind of overtook them, and they died. And you know, these men, they died trying to do what was right, trying to fight, you know, this living, breathing enemy, which it pretty much is. Fire is living and breathing. There's no doubt to that. It's a living thing that just has nothing but a destructive force behind it, and it's terrible. But these men died doing that, and I gotta take my hat off to their family, and I want their family to know that, you know, I'm definitely praying for them, because that hits home. Because I know at any moment that could be my story. That could be some of the men that served beside me's story, and but just God bless them, and God bless their family. God be with them. I mean, that is just, it's tragic, but we definitely need to pray for Washington, and pray for the states over there in the West right now having to deal with this drought. Pray for their firefighters. But apparently the governor of Washington, as an added note to this, finally, you know, has rolled out the National Guard of Washington, and has told them they're going to be fighting fires. So, you know, Christ be with you, brothers and sisters. I just hope you guys be safe. You know, I don't want to hear any more tragic stories like this, and I hope this situation can be resolved almost immediately. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for the news this week. It was kind of those were some of the top stories that I kind of felt were needed to be covered. I didn't cover any politics this week. I might cover some next week. But yeah, as it is right now, guys, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.